Hi, in this quick video, we are going to cover the Office for Budget Responsibility outlook on the UK economy. The latest release was October 2021, just before the impact of Omicron, the latest variant of the virus. So let's go to my full desktop. So I think I need to go to my files here. So here we are. We have the Office for Budget Responsibility. This is October 21, the economic and fiscal outlook for the UK economy. We are doing this outlook since we are going to study fiscal policy and particularly we would like to focus our attention in the UK economy. So this report is very interesting. The Office for Budget Responsibility performs forecasts and reviews everything that is related to the government expenditure. We are going to cover only the executive summary in this short video clip, and I would like to ask you to read the full document. I believe that it's very important for everyone to get to know more about the UK economy. So yes, we have had a successful vaccine rollout. I think that has been one of the most important strategies of the government. I think the gamble with Omicron was actually very good. When many other economies close their economies, particularly the UK, a gamble or the strategy was to keep the economy open, and I think that has been very successful to the point in which some of these statistics that we are going to review now are even better. So I think it was good. It was very good, the strategy. So the economy by October 2021 was expected to grow by 6.5% in 2021. So 2.4 percentage points faster than predicted in March, and unemployment to rise only to 5.25% in this winter. So unemployment has been actually behaving very good. We have like a very good levels at the moment. Is decreasing as in the United States, and this has helped the budget deficit to almost half, to 183 billion of pounds in 2021-2022. So 51 billion lower than the forecast in March from the Office of Budget Responsibility. So, however, even though when we have had like the fastest recovery in the G7, at least in the recent months, because we did not close the economy, we have had like a backlog and bottlenecks, especially in terms of changes in migration and trading regimes following Brexit. We also have had many problems in terms of supply chain problems, such as deficit of containers, and also a deficit of lorry drivers, congestion in the ports, and as well problems with imported goods from other countries. So it is a huge backlog because of the pandemic and because of many other problems, such as the rising increments in the prices of oil. So the Office of Budget Responsibility expected CPI inflation to reach 4.4%. However, we know that figure is now 5.4%. So, and still the central banker is still, the chairman is still waiting for inflation to carry on increasing, since we have still a huge impact in energy prices. Next, in the point number 1.3 in this document, we can see that the scarring of our economy, of the economy of the UK, has been estimated in 2%, which is a very good result because it was estimated that the scarring was 3%. Scarring is the loss in GDP that we will not be able to recover after the pandemic. Indeed, economies needed to close many businesses and many sectors of the economy will never recover totally from the current circumstances. So with inflation higher and persistent as we have, as the situation is now, there was a debate on whether inflation was going to be persistent or transitory, and I think the debate has been given to the persistent like economists, the economists that were like camping on the persistent side of inflation. However, even though when inflation is increasing, the UK has also an increasing nominal GDP. This will increase the tax revenues, and since GDP is one of the most important drivers of taxes, I think that has balanced out the budget for the government. So, as we are going to see, theoretically, the government perform government expenditure and collect taxes. And this is very important because by for 1% in 2025, we are expecting that 4.1% is going to be the amount in which GDP is going to increase by 2025-2026, which this boost the measures of revenue by 4.5% in those years. So the measures for the forecast for borrowing is lower by 38 billion of pounds a year on average relative to the forecast that the Office of Budget Responsibility had, which is actually very good news. This means that as an economy, we will need to pay less for the measures that we have taken during the pandemic. But indeed, it's time to pay. So against the backdrop of an improved underlying fiscal outlook, the government announced a significant increase in both the taxes burden and the size of the post-pandemic state. So this is very important because I think we have increased too much the taxes, and that can hurt the economy in a moment in which the central bank is as well increasing the interest rates. So therefore, it looks like this 2022, our economies are going to be hit by higher interest rates, higher taxes, higher inflation, low aggregate demand, and that possibly is going to shift very rapidly unemployment down as aggregate decreases. So there is a further net tax rise amounting to 16.7 billion a year by 2026-2027. So a health and social care levy of 1.25% on employees and employees and self-employed, which raises 18.2 billion by 2026-2027. And this is just partly offset by cuts in the freezing of fuel duty for the 12th year in succession at a cost of 1.6 billion a year. This does not take into account the rise in prices and the caps that the government needs to monitor in the next months because of the high energy prices that we are experiencing. So together with the 31.5 billions in corporate and personal taxes increases that were announced in March 21, I will upload my video on the March 2021 budget, and also plus the improved underlying fiscal outlook. These measures raised the tax burden from 33.5% of GDP before the pandemic to 36.2% of GDP by 2026-2027. This is the highest since early 1950s, meaning that we are paying historical high taxes in the UK. So taking his March and October budgets together, the Chancellor has raised taxes by more this year than in any single year since Norman Lamont and Ken Clarke in 1993 budgets, in the aftermath of the Black Wednesday. As well, we have a large and sustained increase in public spending, amounting 22.9 billion a year in 2026-2027, comprising 25 billion increase in departmental resource spending and 3 billion boost of universal credit, which is only partly offset by 6.7 billion saved by the temporary move from a triple to double lock for the state pension. So one of the biggest losers from the current situation, who is going to pay the most probably, are going to be those who are on a state pension. Of those, roughly 30 billion on average added to departmental budgets in each year of the spending review. Around of half of this goes directly from the new levy to health and social care, with the other half undergoing 80 billion of unspecified cuts to pre-pandemic. So in general, as well as we have increments in the spending on the levy to health and social care, we are going to see how the population is going to lose a certain percentage that the Office of Budget Responsibility is telling us here. They are forecasting that is going to be around 1%. Yes. So the discretionary increase of take public spending from 39.8% of GDP to 41.6% of GDP. So even though as the government tried to increase the expenditure, it is also increasing the levies, particularly for taking out the triple lock for the state pension, and as well increasing the levy on to health and social care. So the figure or the increment is going to be then 33.5 to 36.2%. So therefore we will be on around 2.7% higher in taxes. So that is something that is going to be taken from the salaries of everyone, mostly because of, you can see what are the levies that they are rising. Okay, so I think that is mostly what I wanted to cover with you. There are many other interesting news about the improvement of the fiscal outlook. These are indeed very good for news for everyone. Here we have the March forecast, and we have here how the actual forecast for up until 2026 look, that the public sector net borrowing is going to start decreasing. Particularly, we expect that this forecast is going to be around 50 billion in that after 2024, more or less, so after that year. Okay, guys, so I would like to invite you then to carry on reviewing this important report that provide an idea on what is the situation of the UK. It's an improving situation. What are the risks ahead, particularly inflation, and there are many as well political risks, geopolitical risks of wars with China and Russia that can cause as well an increment in the problems in terms of the budget. Yes, if there is a war, unfortunately, expenditure will increase more, and yes, the situation will be worse off for the world. All right, guys, this is a short video clip. I will cover the theoretical slides as follows.